So, hello everyone. So, this is the second file containing the explanations of the classroom questions. Now, we will start from question number 15. So, you have a helium nucleus and it is making full rotation in a circle, right? And radius of the circle is given, and the time taken is 2 seconds. The value of the magnetic field in Tesla has to be found out. Magnetic field at the center of the circle you have to find out. Okay, so it is uh, so radius and time is given. Now magnetic field at the center of the circle, what is the relation? Mu naught I by 2r. Now since current is not given, but here current can be written as charge by time, and charge for alpha particle is 2e. So this can be written as mu naught is retained in the options, so we'll write down, we keep mu naught as the way it is, 1 by 2r. What is the value of the radius? The radius is 0.8. Okay, into 0.8 into charge by time, 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 by time is 2 seconds. Okay, so mu naught q by 2 rt is the modification that we have done with the relation. So once you do these calculations, then your result you'll get it to be 10 to the power minus 19 mu naught Tesla. So mu naught Tesla, option number C is the result. Question number 16 next. You have a long solenoid and there are 200 turns per centimeter. Okay, this carries a current I. You have the magnetic field at the center of the solenoid is given. Now you have another solenoid which is 100 turns per centimeter, and it carries current I by 3. You have to find out the value of the magnetic field at its center. I mean, that is the center of the second solenoid. So a relation for, in the first case current is I, second case current is I by 3, right? So you can write down as I1 by 3. Okay, so I2 by I1 or I1 by I2 is equal to 3. Okay, so I1 by I2 equal to 3. Now B relation is mu naught Ni. Yes, so that is the relation for B. Now you are supposed to find out the magnetic field in the second case. Therefore B2 by B1 N2 I2 divided by N1 I1. So N2 value is 100 and I1 value is 200, and I2 by I1, so I2 by I1 value is 1 by 3, right? So you have 3 in the denominator. Okay, so this is like 1 by 6. So B2 is B1 by 6. The value for B1 is 6.28 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided by 6, and that will get you 1.04 into 10 to the power minus 2 Tesla. So this is option number A, right? Option number A. Here you don't have to convert this per centimeter, okay, because it's a ratio problem. Anyway, it will get cancelled. Next, question number 17. Okay, question number 17. Circular current carrying coil has a radius r. The distance from the center of the coil on the axis where the magnetic induction will be 1 by 8 of its value at the center of the coil is what? Now you have this coil, say. So this is the coil we are talking about. Now this is a distance x and this radius is given as capital R, and this point is P. So magnetic field, and this center is O. Magnetic field at P is the distance from the center of the coil. Well, magnetic field at P is 1 by 8 of the value at the center. So 1 by 8 of the value at O. This is the given condition. You have to find out what is the value of this x. Okay. Now we know field on the axis, field at a point on the axis, BP, as in our present case, is mu naught by 4 pi, and 2 NIA we had in the relation, but in the present case our number of turns in the coil is 1, so you'll have 2 IA divided by R square plus X square to the power 3 by 2. Now this R, capital R, we used it as small r previously. Now mu naught by 4 pi 2I pi, what is the area of the coil? Pi R square. So R square plus X square to the power 3 by 2. Okay, so you can cancel 2 times and pi cancels. What remains here is mu naught I R square, mu naught I R square divided by 2 R square plus X square to the power 3 by 2. And magnetic field at the center of the coil, the relation is mu naught I by twice R. Now if we put these values in the given condition, that is BP equal to 1 by 8th of B naught, right? So BP, what is the relation? Mu naught I R square divided by 2 R square plus X square to the power 3 by 2 equal to 1 by 8th of B naught is like mu naught I by 2R. So on both the sides you can cancel mu naught I and mu naught I. Okay, and what you have is, what remains, well, this 2 can be cancelled. Yes, so 8R cube equal to, you can write down, or you can write down R square plus X square to the power 3 by 2 equal to 8R cube. Now 8R cube can be written as 2R whole cube. So if you take cubic root on both sides, you get R square plus X square equal to 2R. Sorry, R square plus X square to the power half equal to 2R, right? Now if you square both sides, then you get R square plus X square equal to 4R square. So X square equal to 3R square and X equal to root over 3R. So this is your answer. So it is option number A, root over 3R. Question number 18 next. Now this particular question, there was a minor mistake in the solution that I shared in PDF. So I'll make this correction here, and also I'll post it separately with a screenshot so that you get this very clear. So the first I'll do it in two methods, okay, in slightly varying methods. And the first method, I am doing it only to show the mistake in the previous solution. Okay, otherwise you'll find the second method is easy, comparatively easy. That will be more simple. So this is the square, right? So I'll draw the diagonals. So this is the square, Now let this lengths in red, okay, let they be of length A, okay, and we need this particular length will be required. The perpendicular distance is always required. So this is like, say this is O and this is P, then of course the magnetic field at O will be entering the page, okay. So this field will be entering, therefore I'm putting a cross here. B will be entering here, magnetic field will be entering the page because of the direction of the current. The direction of the current is this manner. Now if these two sides are A, right, then this length will be square root of A plus A square, and that will give you A root over 2. This length is A root over 2, isn't it? Root over twice A square, so A square comes out of the root, so it remains A root over 2, this length. Now OP is what? So you will need what is OP. Now these angles like phi 1 and phi 2, these are 45 degree each, right? So phi 1 equal to phi 2 equal to pi by 4, let's write down, or 45 degree also you can write down. Now this length OP is A cos 45. I hope this is clear. A cos 45, that is A into 1 by root 2. Clear? A by root 2, that is. Now it is given for the square, the perimeter is 4 sum of the sides, right? So 4A root over 2, 4 into A root over 2, we can write 4 into A root over 2. Now this value is given to be 4 in the question. Therefore the value of A comes out to be 1 by root over 2 from here. Yes. So with that perspective, OP will become what? OP is A by root over 2. So 1 by root over 2 into 1 by root over 2, that is half. OP is half. Yeah, so we'll be using it ahead. Now circle. For the circle, let the radius of the circle be R, and the magnetic field at the center is B prime, and this is also entering the page because of the direction of the current. It is anti-clockwise, right? Sorry, it is clockwise. So the perimeter is perimeter of a circle 2 pi r, and this is also 4. Therefore the radius comes out to be 2 by pi. Now in the first case, magnetic field. Now magnetic field due to a straight finite wire, the relation was mu naught I by 4 pi A, where A was the perpendicular distance. Actually in our derivation we have done, in the formula note we have done. I won't say derivation because we haven't done the entire derivation elaborately in many cases. So this perpendicular distance has to be there, right? So the magnetic field relation was B. I won't be writing down B initially, like mu naught I by 4 pi perpendicular distance. Now in this case the perpendicular distance is, this distance is what? This distance is A cos pi by 4. If this is A, this is pi by 4, this is 45 degree, then this will be A cos pi by 4, this will be A sin pi by 4. However, we don't need that. We need this perpendicular distance. This is A cos pi by 4. So I'm writing down in the denominator 4 pi A cos pi by 4. Okay, and sine phi 1 plus sine phi 2. So sine 45 plus sine 45. Now this is due to, this is the magnetic field at this point O due to this wire, due to this part only. Okay, due to this length, A root 2 length. Now for the four sides, right, for all the branches the magnetic field will be of course entering the page, right, and therefore total magnetic field due to this square will be, square frame will be what? That will be 4 times of this. So 4 into this. So this is B, value of B. So this value is what? A cos pi by 4 value is half straight away. Clear? Now 4 cancels. So this gives you 2 mu naught I. This gives you 2 mu naught I. And here Sine 45 is 1 by root 2, right? So 2 into 1 by root 2. Sine 45 plus sine 45 is 2 sine 45. Therefore 2 into 1 by root 2. So what does it get you? Did I make a mistake here? 4 cancels. This half in the denominator goes in the numerator. Half in the denominator. Okay, no problem. It's correct. Now this part will get you this part will get you root over 2, isn't it, in the numerator? So your result is here 2 root 2 mu naught I. There was a pi in the denominator here. Okay, divided by pi. 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi. Now b prime is how much? Mu naught I by 2r for a circle or for a circular coil. What is the value of r? 2 by pi. So mu naught I by 2 into 2 by pi. So that gets you mu naught I pi by 4. Therefore, the ratio now b by b prime equal to, what is the value for b? 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi into, what is the value for b prime? Mu naught I pi by 4. So 4 goes into the numerator. Right, so now you can cancel mu naught I can be cancelled, and this gives you 8 root 2 divided by pi square. 8 root 2 divided by pi square. Now, this solution might seem a bit complicated. I'll be doing it in a more simple manner. I just showed it. The reason is to keep some correspondence with the earlier solution so that you can figure out the mistake what has been done there. Understanding of mistake is very important. Okay, that helps you not to commit similar kind of mistakes again. Let me create a page here. Okay, so OR, I am writing down OR here. I'll copy this diagrams, but we'll change the names, not the names, the values of the sides. Now to make it more simple, what we can do is we'll take the lengths. So now let this perpendicular distance be directly A. Let's consider this as A. Now you see, this is a right angle triangle, right? This angle is 90, this is 45, this is 45. So that is quite obvious. Now if this is A, then this side will also be A. This side will also be A, and if this is A, then the entire side will be twice A. One side of the square will be twice A. So in that case, this particular length, like this hypotenuse of this triangle, this hypotenuse will become A root 2 by Pythagoras theorem. Clear? Now this phi 1, phi 2 is 45 as before. There is no difference with that. Now you see, for the square, you'll find this more simple. Okay, for the square perimeter is like one side is twice A, so four side is like 8A. Yes, and the length is 4. So A value comes out to be 1 by 2 straight. Now for the circle, perimeter, 2 pi r 4. So r equal to 2 by pi is the value. Okay, here also the magnetic field is entering. Now d for the entire square will be 4 times of mu naught I by 4 pi a, the perpendicular distance. Previously this perpendicular distance was a cos 45 based on the lengths we have taken. Okay, we have assumed in the figure. Now we are taking the perpendicular distances as a straight a. Okay, straight way we are taking it as a. Now sine pi by 4 plus sine pi by 4. So this is like mu naught I by this 4 cancels, pi into half, and 2 sine 45 pi by 4, 2 sine pi by 4. So you see 2 sine pi by 4, this will give you 2 by root 2, which is root 2 actually in the numerator, right? So you'll get 2 mu naught I divided by pi, and here you get root over 2. So you get 2 root 2 mu naught I divided by pi. So this is for B. Now B prime, our relation is mu naught I by, no change with B prime. With the previous solution also it will be same here. B prime is exactly same, mu naught I by 2r. What is the value of r? It is 2 by pi, so mu naught I divided by 2 into 2 by pi, that gets you mu naught I pi divided by 4. Therefore B by B prime is equal to 2 root over 2 mu naught I divided by pi into 4 divided by mu naught I pi. Okay, now mu naught I cancels, mu naught I cancels, therefore you get 8 root 2 by pi square. Okay, whichever you like, you can proceed with that. In either situations you'll get the same result. The answer is option number B. In the PDF it was shown to be A, but I did a mistake. Okay, with the perpendicular length of the perpendicular distance from the wire. So the next question, number 19. Now you have a long straight wire which is carrying 10 ampere DC current, right? Electron travels perpendicular to it at a distance of this with the velocity of this. Force acting on the electron due to the current in the wire is what? Now say this is the wire carrying 10 ampere current, and we consider a perpendicular distance like 0.1 meter, isn't it? Now you see, if you apply the right hand thumb rule here, you align the thumb along the direction of the current. In that situation you'll see your fingers will curl this way. Your fingers will curl this way. That means the magnetic field will enter inside the page below the wire, and above, they will tend to come outside the page above the wire, right? So you can mark it as magnetic field is entering here. Now if magnetic field is entering and the charged particle is going perpendicular, right? So if it has to go perpendicular to this wire, that means, say you can consider that it is entering, the charged particle is also entering through this point, right? If it is entering, then the alignment, isn't it perpendicular to this wire? In such a case, it is parallel to the magnetic field. So when charged particle enters parallel to the magnetic field, the magnetic force acting on the charged particle is 0. Okay, therefore F is equal to 0 straight. Next, question number 20. This was question number 19. Now we come to question number 20. You have a rod of length L and mass M. It is moving down a smooth inclined plane of inclination theta with a constant velocity v. Okay, so the diagram is shown over here, and the conductor is in a perpendicular direction to the paper inwards. A vertically upwards magnetic field B exists in space. Okay, so B is acting vertically upward. Then the magnitude of the magnetic field is what? Magnitude of the magnetic field is what you have to find out. So we can create the situation here. We can create the situation here. Let this be the rod. Now the rod is perpendicular, okay, to the plane of the paper. It is like, you can assume that it is entering the rod, length of the rod is entering the plane of the paper. Now you see the mass is m, therefore weight will act this way, vertically downward, right? Magnetic field is given upward, going in the upward direction. Now what is the direction of the current? Current is flowing perpendicularly inward the paper, right? Inward to the plane of the paper. So if that happens, you have to apply your Fleming's left hand rule. Now force field current, you see, field is along the upward direction. Okay, field is along the upward direction. You place your index finger towards that. Current is entering, middle finger will point towards the interior of the page, will tend to enter the page, the middle finger, that is along the direction of the current, and field is along the upward direction, so you will point your forefinger along the upward direction, middle finger towards the interior of the page. Then you see the thumb is pointing this way, okay, along the right. So this is the direction of the magnetic force. Clear? This, finding out this magnetic force direction is very important. This you need to understand. Now in the question it is given this angle is theta. If this angle is theta, then if this angle is theta, then this angle is also theta, and if this angle is theta, then I hope the diagram is clear. Now if this angle is theta, yes, then this angle is also theta. Okay, now you see, if this is the magnetic force and this angle is theta, this will be here along this direction. You'll have Fm cos theta, right? This will be Fm cos theta, and if this is mg, this will be mg cos theta, this will be mg sin theta, right? This will be mg cos theta and this will be mg sin theta. Okay, so the diagram is complete. Now by Fleming's left hand rule, the magnitude or the value of this magnetic force will be ILB sin 90, right? Between length of the conductor and field, the angle is 90 degree, so this is like ILB. Now this is acting along the right as shown in the figure. Now you can clearly understand from the figure is that Fm cos theta is equal to mg sin theta, right? So we can write down Fm cos theta equal to mg sin theta. So Fm value is, you can put the value, we need the value of B, right? So ILB sin theta equal to mg sorry, ILB FM cos theta, ILB cos theta it has to be. ILB cos theta equal to mg sin theta, right? So B comes out to be mg by IL tan theta, mg by IL tan theta. So that is your answer. So mg by IL tan theta, option number B. So I hope this question is clear. Now we go to question number 21. 21 number. Now you have a straight wire, mass is given, length is given, and it is carrying a current 2 ampere. It is suspended in the mid-air by a uniform magnetic field B. You are suspending this by a magnetic field B. The magnitude of the field is what? So consider this as the rod. This is the rod, and if we consider some axis over here, so this is x-axis, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and say this is z-axis. Then the current, it is suspended in mid-air by a uniform magnetic field B, right? Just hold on. Just 1 minute. Now, so you see the current is and length, okay, it is suspended in the mid-air. Well, the magnetic field has to act in such a manner now that the magnetic field is balancing the weight or the force due to gravity. Now under that situation, the current, okay, it is carrying a current. If the current is along the z direction, right, and field is horizontal, right? So since the field is horizontal, you can consider the field is going from left to right. Okay, so the field is going from left to right. Under that situation, now if you fix your Fleming's left hand rule in such a manner that your forefinger is pointing towards the field, right, going from left to right towards the field, forefinger, and middle finger is coming outside the page from this point. From this point, middle finger is coming outside the page, z-axis, which is perpendicular to the plane, right? In such a case, you see the magnetic force, the thumb is pointing along the direction y. So here magnetic force is along this way. So under this situation, you can take that magnetic force is equal to mg, force due to gravity. So ILB, yes, because length, angle between the length and the magnetic field is 90 degree, equal to mg, and B equal to mg by IL. Now you can place the values given. Mass is given as 200 grams, right? That is in CGS. So convert that into kg, 0.2 kg into 9.8. It is given to be, I mean, the value of G has to be used as 9.8. It is given in the question. Current value is 2 ampere and length is 1.5, right? So after calculation, you get this as 0.65. So we'll go with option number D. That is question number 21. Question number 22. Now you have an arrangement shown in the figure. Okay, so this is quite a simple question. We had written this relation B equal to for this kind of situation, semicircle, right? Mu naught I by 4 pi r into theta. So what is theta here? Theta is 90 degrees, so into pi by 2 you can put it straight away. So pi cancels, and therefore your result comes out to be, well, mu naught by 4. Mu naught, what is the value? Mu naught value is 10 to the power minus 7 into current value is 32 divided by 4, okay, divided by 4 into radius. Okay, so what is the radius value? Mu naught, the radius value is given as 3.14, right? So what you can do is that this can be done a bit more simply. Okay, let's do it in a more simple manner. B equal to mu naught I by 4 pi r into theta is your formula. So mu naught by 4 pi, what is the formula? 10 to the power, what is the value? Mu naught by 4 pi, it is 10 to the power minus 7 into I value is 32 and divided by radius value is 3.14 centimeter, right? 3.14 centimeter. So 3.14 into 10 to the power minus 2 you have to do in meter into pi by 2, right? So this 3.14 and pi you can cancel, and what stays behind is 32 divided by 2 is 16 into 10 to the power minus 5. So this can be written as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4. So this is your result, option number A. Question number 23 next. So a particle with a specific charge S. So this is option number A, yes. So particle with a specific charge S. So a specific charge, it means that charge by mass ratio is equal to Q by M. Okay, it is fired with a speed V towards a wall at a distance, now at a distance D, perpendicular to the wall. What minimum magnetic field will be needed so that the particle does not hit the wall? Okay, so you consider that this is the wall. Now magnetic field is entering perpendicularly inside the page. Now the charge particle is coming from this side, say. Okay, since positive charge particle if you consider, then this will bend in this manner, right? It will bend in this manner. In such a case, say this distance is D. Okay, the radius of the path of the charge particle, circular path of the charge particle is D. Or precisely in accordance with the question, you can consider that you are firing the charge particle from this point only. Okay, from this point only, because the wall is at a distance D, it is given. Okay, so and you can also consider the wall to be a bit more closer. That really doesn't matter. Okay, so the condition is that it should not touch the wall. It should deviate in such a manner that it should not touch the wall. So now you can say that the centripetal force required will be provided by the magnetic force. So QVB equals to mv square by r. So ultimately you need to find out the minimum value of the magnetic field, B equal to mv by qr. Okay, so V by Q by M, this M is taken in the denominator and into R. Now this Q by M is what? This is specific charge, V by SR. And what is the value of R in our diagram? It is D. So V by SD is the answer. So that is option number C. Next, question number 24. Option number C. Okay, 24. Charged particle is moving in a circle of radius r with uniform speed v. The associated magnetic moment T is given by what? Okay, so magnetic moment is given by what? Now, orbital magnetic moment, right? In case of a charged particle, whenever a charged particle is entering along a circular path, we have orbital magnetic moment, and we had this relation directly. If you check the theory once again in the last second file, I guess, EVR divided by 2. Okay, and that is equal to in that Bohr magneton wala topic. Okay, you can check it there. Now E is Q here, QVR divided by 2 is your answer. This is the direct question. Option number D. So next, 25. Electron is moving along a circular orbit with uniform speed v. It produces magnetic field B at the center of the circle. You have to find out the radius is proportional to what. Now radius, we know radius is equal to mv by qb, right? So the velocity is constant here, and charge particle, you have electron, right? So if you proportionality, you need to find out. So mass and charge is constant. Yes, mass and charge is constant for electrons, so you can write down proportional to v by b. So option number B is the answer. Next, 26. 26. Current is passing through a circular coil of 2 turns, produces magnetic field B at the center. Now when the coil is rewound, so that you make 4 turns now, and the same current is passed through, then what is the magnetic field at the center in the new situation? So if I have to make a diagram for this, you see, in the first case, here you have 2 turns, number of turns is 2, and the radius is r. You consider here the radius is r. Okay, now in the second case you are giving it 4 turn, therefore of course the radius will decrease. Say the radius is r prime now, and the number of turns is n prime, which is 4. So we have to find out a relation between the radius of these two circular coils, right? So in the first case, perimeter is 2 pi r. So number of turns is 2. 2 into 2 pi r equals to 4 into 2 pi r prime. So what do you get? R by r prime, you get this is 2 here. Now we have the relation for magnetic field at the center of a coil, including the number of turns, right? In general, the relation was mu naught I by twice r. So when you have n number of turns, so it is mu naught ni by twice r. You are finding out magnetic field in the second case. So here you can write down B is proportional to n by r, because current value is same, right? Current is constant, I is constant, and mu naught and 2 is constant. So B is proportional to n by r. So you are finding out the magnetic field in the second case. So B prime by B equal to n prime by n into r by r prime. This is what we have to do. So n prime is like 4 by 2 into r by r prime. What is the value? R by r prime value is 2. So here you get 4. So the new magnetic field will be n by n prime is like n by n prime 4 by 2 into r by r prime is 2. So what you get is 4, right? So B prime is to be 4 times of B. 4 times of B. So what was B? Okay, 4 times of B. I got this sum wrong previously. It has to be option number D. Okay, it has to be option number D. So there is one more correction with question number 26. Now 27. Question number 27. You have 6 wires of current. Now these are like perpendicularly entering or leaving. Cross indicates that this indicates that the current carrying wires are entering the page, or sorry, the current is entering the page. All the wires are perpendicular to the page, but here the current is entering, here the current is coming out. Sorry, 1 2 3 it is coming out, 4 5 6 it is entering. Now you have to find out the value of the line integral of the field around the dotted lines. That means 6 will be excluded, right? So what will you apply here? You will apply Ampere's circuital law. Integral b dot dl equal to mu naught I. So what is I here? Like I1 plus, say we are considering this coming out, the currents which are coming out as positive, and then we'll consider the entering one as negative, minus I4 minus I5. So the values, like I1 value is 1, I2 value is 2, I3 value is 3, I4 value is given as 1 ampere, and I5 value is given as 4 ampere. So this is like mu naught survives. So mu naught is the answer. Option number B. Okay, option number B, mu naught is the answer. This is the last question in this video. After that, I'll put the remaining questions in the third video. Okay, so question number 28. You have a circular loop. You see the direction of the current is anti-clockwise. Here it is carrying current. This is IC, right? And you have a straight wire. It is carrying current IE. So here the direction of the current is this way. Okay, so you see, if you apply the right hand thumb rule here, for this if you place the thumb along this direction, then the fingers will curl this way. That means at the point at the center, the field will enter inside due to this straight wire. Now for this circular wire also, if you place the right hand thumb rule, then if you place your fingers along the direction of the current, then it will show you the thumb will point inwards at the center. So again, this is also entering. So the net magnetic field at this point at the center of the circle will be addition of both the magnetic fields. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now so the situation is like this. Now this current is IC, this current is IE, the radius is R. You have to find out this H length, that this blue line. Okay, so I made a mistake while explaining the direction of the current due to IC. Okay, we'll do it again. For IE, of course, it is entering. At O, it is entering. For IC, it is actually coming out. You apply your right hand thumb rule. Then if the direction in which your fingers curl is along this way, anti-clockwise, then thumb will come outside O, right? So B magnetic field due to IC will be outside the page at O. Magnetic field due to IE will be inside the page at O. Okay. So for B net, you'll have to add what is the question saying? Assuming these are placed in the same, the magnetic field will be 0. Okay. Okay, so under what situation magnetic field will be 0 at the center? I took the question to be different. Anyway, for what value of H the magnetic field at the center at O will be 0? That is your question. So for the, since these are oppositely directed, since these two fields are oppositely directed, we are not supposed to find out B net. So you are supposed to find out the value of H for which the field at O will be 0. Okay, so since these are oppositely directed, the magnetic field value has to be same. Okay, for that means BIC will be equal to BIE, then only the field will be 0 at O. So if you put the value for BIC, it will be mu naught IC divided by twice R, right? Twice R. And here, now this is an infinitely long wire. So your relation will come out to be mu naught 2I divided by 4 pi H. Okay, 4 pi A, it was there in our previous relation. So it comes out to be mu naught IE divided by 2 pi H. So on calculation, what do you get? H comes out to be pi IC divided by IER. Okay, so this is the result for this. I took the question to be different anyway. I hope you understood now. So I'll just put the remaining questions in a third video. I'll upload that in a couple of hours. Thank you. You can text me in WhatsApp in case there is a confusion with any of the solutions.